Wednesday, and we have two very special guests on tonight's show. We have Joseph Soul, all the way from Hawaii, and we also have a podcaster and musician, Kieran, joining us all the way from the US. We are the Chalk and Cheese Show. This is what we do each and every Wednesday. I am DJ Caspar for people that are just joining and don't really know who we are. And I'm always joined by my co-host, DJ Charcoal. How are you? Well, I kind of know how you are anyway, but just let the people know, how are you this week?
Oh man, if I said something else, that'll probably shock everyone, that all our regulars, is if I said, yeah, everything's going fantastic. Nah, it's not. It's shit house. It's always shit house for me. I have too much dramas in my life. And yeah, as you know, mate, we're supposed to be heading over to Switzerland next week, and I am waiting for my passport to be returned after 6 weeks. So we might not be going. Well, I might not be going. You might be going, but yeah. So it's touch and go. So we're thinking about storming into the Liverpool office and dragging someone by the hair. Hopefully someone has hair, not like me. But yeah, and just saying, where's my bloody passport? But yeah, I'm stuck in this country. I can't go anywhere. But anyway, that's not what we are about. We like to have a whinge first and foremost when we come on. And then we introduce these fantastic artists that we got on. So, but before we kind of get into our first artist, we have made a promise last night. And those that were watching us on Instagram and Facebook, we had a few drinks.
I apologize straight away for last night's shenanigans, because we was fucked up last night, man. We was just chatting shit. We didn't get any response on Instagram Live, so we thought, well, fuck it, let's go over to Facebook. Facebook was dead again. Then we went back over to Instagram. And then, we promised one of our artists that we had on a couple of weeks ago, Donovan, a very nice guy, excellent tattoo artist as well. We was actually talking about tattoos with him as well. And he knows I want my Bob Marley tattoo, so I need to go up north to go see him on a quick one, maybe before Christmas. We can do a double whammy. We can get fucked up in Newcastle and then get a tattoo the next day. Fuck it, why not?
Get a big dick put on your back. That's what I'll ask for. Just put a big dick on his back. Make sure he can't see it.
But I do know Donovan has joined us live on Facebook. So this is a exclusive first here of Donovan's track.
Yes.
Yeah, Charcoal, you did tell me the name of it, man, but fucking memory like a goldfish. I'm gone, man.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I could say any title now. You would be like, oh yeah, that's
that's the one.
That's it, yeah. But nah. Oh, look, let's just keep it a guess, because I'm trying to find it myself. Nah, I'm only joking. It's somewhere. I think it's Where You Going. That's it. So let's have a listen to this track. He was on our show a couple of weeks back, and this is, we should give him a name, because he goes by the name of Donovan, but he needs an MC name. But anyway, we'll just call him Don for tonight. The Don. So this is Where You Going by The Don.
Let me close this window before I do this. The Michael Spotman and Zed. There's far too much noise coming from Medemsey Road right now. All these cars flying by, messing with the mic. There's only me messes with the mic. Come on. Novakin, where you going? You think I get out of bed just not knowing? Off I pop to the lip, let's drop a fresh nice to the Foot Locker shop non-stop. You're down by, that's not right. We met night. I know what you meant, so your questions I dip right. Though I left till night. I put a fresh foot forward, and maybe I'll tell you when I get there, right? It's clear to see that I'm just fucking about when you see me out open mouthed and cashed out, taking the fast route and taking trash out. I get the bag, meanwhile garbage is all you'll ever put out. Whoa, give me a minute, gotta grab my fucking dinner. It's your favorite rapper's lyrics, I blow cool, the scribbles grind down out. I shit it, digest them with some spinach, wash it down in just a minute. Forget everybody spitting, I'm the realest. Make them admit it like toddlers when they did it. Your best stuff, I outdid it while you try and fuck with it. I'm 90s as fuck, but I be like I give a fuck. Millennium booked up, my wires are topped up, tailed up for being a sick fuck. When I get on the microphone, they try and lock me the fuck up. Cuffed up and barred up, mentally I'm in handcuffs, cause the clowns in charge got the country all messed up. make an old head pop. Bring mumble rap to its knees, and it doesn't matter how fast you fucking rap. Your shit's whack if it's not a Nova Kid track. Now get the fuck back in, where you going? I just jumped out of bed, I'm still flowing. Off the sub rock, I jog shit, the hangover rock. After a jog, I polish a bottle of Hennessy off. That's not right, we meant lie. I know what you meant, to your question, just sit tight. Throw a sickie and fuck work off. That's never me, to the studio we rock as the clock stay tick-tock, right? Whenever I'm pressing, I'm stood right here with just a mic that's 6 feet. Pop open a beer, a quick check, 1, 2. Make sure the vocals are clear, spit a rap, then play it back and let it fuck with your ears. I flow like Biggie with a little pretty Ricky, spit bars and get jiggy. In England is my city, it's a pity that you're not stood with me. But when it comes to bars, a feature with me is rare, cause few can fuck with me. Acting like Chris Rock, get your shit rocked, no fist cock. Get pissed, the palm slap, the disrespect off. An open hand slap, that's violence ticked off. For acting like a bitch, I slap the bitch off, yeah. Straight to the top, like Tesla stock, like panic, your foot's tapping whether you like it or not. Your waxy looks had never heard it like this. And in the words of your bitch, you kinda do it like this. I do the business. Air Max with socks over my pants while you're locked to the spot, dried out like dead plants. When Novocaine rants, your hair stands up and your girlfriend does a dance on TikTok in a scan. She doesn't post it on the page, she DMs it on the sly. And I cream pie her face, I'm a disgusting guy. Your rebuttal's gonna be weak, so don't even try. Just sit down and have a coke and a smile as the beat passes by. Novocaine, where you going? I just jumped into bed, I'm still flowing. Switch off the light, my shit's tight. Funds right, the kids right. Money in banks, give thanks, head down, good night. That's not right, we meant lie. I know what you meant, never busy giving a shite. The fast life requires the right mind, just hold tight. Let's hope you're with me when I get there, right?
People ask me where I'm going. I don't even know why I'm here.
Yes. So that was the Don, as I call him tonight. And where you're going with that track, obviously you can tell by the accents, and it's weird, especially when you come over to the UK for the first time. You can literally drive an hour away from where you're staying, and it'll be a totally different accent. So that was a northern accent, a proper northern accent. That was. If you go further down to London, they're a bit more. I don't know, a bit more posh, aren't they, Casper, from where you're at?
What, up north, people are posh?
No, I said down south. What are you fucking doing?
Oh, fucking
Not
hell.
listening.
No,
Put your
I
headphones on.
really wasn't. I'm not even going to lie. I wasn't listening. No, I just heard you just talking. That was it. I wasn't listening.
That's all right.
Down south, man. I mean, I'm a southerner, and yeah, I'm not posh. I'm far from fucking posh, man. I'm like as common as this common rat on the streets of London. Like, that's how common I am. Like it's unreal. But yeah, Donovan's obviously over the moon. He actually just dropped that track yesterday, midnight last night. And he actually sent it to us 10 minutes before he was going to drop it live for us to listen to, man. So like, yeah, but like you were saying, I caught a little bit of little bits and bobs of what you were saying. But yeah, like you go to different parts of the UK and the accent is fucking like, some of it's really hard, some of it's soft hard and stuff like that. But obviously, what I like about Donovan is that you can actually hear his northern accent through the track. It's a bit like H and Central D and people like that are kind of up north. They just have their own style and swagger. But yeah, man, yeah, I like that track. I like it, and I like the little sample or whatever he used at the beginning and the end. It kind of give like that old school flavor to it. The beat was very old school as well. So yeah.
and especially like over in the UK at the moment, like a lot of it's drill. You don't get that kind of hip hop, old school hip hop that much unless you kind of look underground. But anyway. Sorry, Donovan, I don't want to cut you off, mate, but that's your part of the show done and dusted, pal. He probably won't give me a discount on his tattoo now. So anyway, let's moving along quickly to our next guest. And look, I said to Casper, usually I do a lot of research on you guys that are a guest, but I haven't done much research on you, Kieran. So that's a good thing for me because you know what? I go in, there's a blank canvas. You can tell me that you're an aircraft engineer, and I'll be like, oh, fucking, that's great, man. Well done. But yeah, so look, what you've said in your little video grab, you have done, well, you do podcasting. I can't remember your podcast. I think it's like Grave or something like that. Gravy, or
It's the Gravcast. That's called. Yeah, Gravcast. So what a Grav is, it is basically a homemade smoking apparatus, essentially. Like you basically just take a bottle and you have a base and you create the cap of the bottle into a bowl and you pull the
it's like a bucket bowl.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what you guys call it. Yes, a bucket bowl. Yeah. So we call it a gravity bong, grav, a waterfall, stuff like that. So we basically just me and my friends bullshitting, kicking it. We call it running grabs because the act of pulling it is running it because the water's running from the bottom.
I was just going to say, can you kind of give us a little bit of a demonstration while you're I'm really joking.
I could. I really, if we wanted to go that far.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Look, we is it condone? I never get this right. Condone or don't condone. I don't know. I'll just say, look, do what you want. This is we got people that we've had, smoking blunts on this show, sitting in a hot tub drinking tequila at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the way we roll. We don't care, man. You just do what you want. Like, as long as the feds don't hit my door and they hit your door, that's okay. We don't care.
Well, we're good. Weed is good over in New Jersey. It has just been legalized for commercial sale too. So I can go to the store finally and I know it's been a lot. Thumbs up for sure. It has been a long time coming.
Do you know what? It's funny you say that. Sorry, Casper. It's funny you say that, but we have a lot of New Jersey artists on this show, and they're always fucking high off their fucking heads.
Oh yeah, we I don't want to be the rep of all New Jersey rappers, but whenever I run into other artists and whatnot, like we are not scared to smoke each other up for sure. Like,
hey, let's normalize cannabis, man. Let's normalize it, man.
Definitely, man. Do you know what? Massive shout out to everyone that's watching on Facebook. Thank you, and massive shout out to our New Jersey crew as well. Grimes. I'm forgetting names here, but yeah. They knew
Cloud9. He was on the show. That's how I found him.
Yeah, he's from Jersey as well, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, everyone from Jersey wants to come on the show. Whether we look like we're smoking weed, I don't know, but
I got some weed. I got some weed smoking vibes from you guys.
Just do it, man. Just like,
no, man. I'll get fucked up, man. Like, seriously, I'll take 2 drags of a fucking joint now. I'm on cloud9. Believe me, man. Like, fuck that shit.
I'm coming to the UK. I'm gonna dab you out, bro.
Fuck, man. I can't smoke it anymore. I used to smoke it, like, on a regular, but fuck now, man. I don't even like the smell of it. Like, no more. Like,
no. Let me tell you something. For the podcast we do, it definitely gets a little erratic. Like, being stoned and like trying to keep conversation. There's definitely points where we edit down where it's like a 10-second window of nobody saying anything. And we're like, next conversation. Like, we kind of have to reboot and pick it up.
So just before we get into your music, like, what is your podcast just that based on, and like just so people in the UK can kind of understand what you kind of talk about? I know you say you chat shit and stuff like that, but what kind of shit do you chat about?
Like, it's kind of hard because it's like a lot of like US pop culture stuff. Like, we kind of like we had a whole Lethal Weapon episode the other day where we just basically explained the movie Lethal Weapon to my friend. Very stoned, so it wasn't a great explanation of it either. But like in the episode after that, we did Top Gun, the original one, which ironically coincides with the new Top Gun release that just came out with Tom Cruise and whatnot. But we talk music. We kick it off with like a random like song to start it off with, like basically like a smoke session song. Yeah, basically whatever our minds crank to, we just like throw it out there, and then we're just like, all right, we're done. And then we just finished a half hour.
Yeah, you're looking at your watches, you're going, fuck, that's 5 minutes gone. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, or some like you get to an hour and we're like, oh fuck, we gotta end this right now. Like,
do you know what? We did a show, when was it? Probably about a couple of months ago. We had a medium on the show. So a medium, she was like predicting futures and shit for everyone, and we were just getting all these guests coming on, and we started at the same time, like 8:30, and I had a bottle of Fireball sitting right next to me, and I think literally like I nearly got through all of it, and then we looked at our watches, we were like, fuck, it's 2 a.m, man. So 8 till 2, we'll
The
just
episode run for like 5 hours. It was like a fucking joke, man. Every time we was like, okay, we're off now, that somebody was like, oh yeah, please, can I come on, girl, come on. I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, man.
I wish there was a time lapse of the Fireball bottle just alone, just it's slowly going down and down.
Definitely.
Stills
man.
like of it.
I gotta do
just
that.
going.
I gotta do that because I love a good Fireball. Straight, actually. Don't worry about ice. Just fucking knock it back.
You ever try Fireball in a pint of Angry Orchard?
Oh, what's Angry Orchard?
It's like an apple cider, like a hard cider. So you take a pint of Angry Orchard, leave a little out, and put a shot of Fireball in there.
Ooh,
Cinnamon apple.
Wow.
We need-
Okay.
we'll-
Well,
we-
that
maybe
sounds
we need
really
to
good,
do that.
actually.
Yeah, we need
I don't
to-
even drink, but I like that stuff.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm gonna try that. We'll get some cheap ass cider, Casper, when I catch up with you, mate. We'll just like literally fireballs. Don't worry about the little shot. Just boop 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 boop. Anyway,
So obviously, Kieran, you do music as well. That I'm very and like I'm anticipating hearing your track because I don't listen to any of the artist tracks before or like they come on the show. So I like that live reaction, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, then I kind of tell you what I don't like about it. So I can be a bit of a dick, but not too much of a dick. But obviously, with you doing a podcast and stuff like that, what kind of come around first? Was it like music and then podcasting, or podcasting and then music? And how did you get into music? Like, how old was you, etc.?
So I kind of like look at everything as like just content creating, because back in like high school or whatnot, me and my friends used to just always make sketches and videos, which I actually still do. I have a whole Instagram due to my sketches and skits. But I can kind of say like I've always had an interest in like radio and journalism. So I think that kind of coincided with me going into podcasting and starting my podcast recently. I started making music probably around when I was like 12, 13 years old. I had a little shitty camcorder, and I would like record me doing like bad freestyle raps into it at the moment. And so that's kind of like where it all started. And that eventually grew into me discovering what GarageBand is on the computer, playing around with that, messing around with vocals, doing remixes to every popular song coming up through high school, making bad mixtapes, passing them out to my high school and whatnot. And that all kind of correlated into the streaming era, where it's like, oh shit, like I have SoundCloud now. I can put like 100 tracks on there and like not have to press CDs anymore, and like can just like text message my friends, oh, here's this song. But instead of like having to go and pop it in the CD, like find a CD, you know, like, so I kind of saw all that open up into play too. So yeah, I guess as a whole, like since I was a teen, I was just, you know, I was all about sketches, content, music.
yeah, well,
Yeah. And how would you best describe your music, like to somebody like me who has never heard it before?
It's I would say it has the contemporary hip hop feel, almost underground, boom bappy. So, but I do go over trap beats over times, but like it's more of my lyrical content I really focus on. I'm not too like particular when it comes to like what beat I go over. It's more of like the humorous quips and like the clever things I try to say for like lyrically and whatnot. Or like even if it's not a clever lyric, it could be a funny concept to the song, you know.
It's funny. For some reason, you remind me of Harry Mack. I don't know. You just, if you had like silver hair, you'd just be like, "Fucking, oh look, there's Harry Mack."
Oh, I don't really listen to his music too much. I got to look into that then.
Yeah, do that, man. He's a freestyle rapper, and speaking of freestyle, like we had an artist on the show last week, who literally we just said, "Come on, do a freestyle for us, no beat, nothing," and we threw three words at him. We're not going to get you to do that tonight, but and literally,
thank God, because I pulled 6 gravity bongs before this. No, I'm kidding, but still, that'd be nice. Yeah, unless it was all weed related. Then,
after a couple of these anyway, I probably won't know what you're saying anyway. So,
hey, sorry to chime in, but I did a few dabs before I jumped on, so no excuse.
Good point.
Do you know what? We're missing out here. Let's go to Jersey, man. Let's go to Jersey. But what I was trying to get into was, have you ever kind of tried that freestyling? Because we've had a lot of R's, especially from Jersey, actually. Shout out to Jo, the Beat Slayer from Jersey as well, that have gone through kind of the whole battle scene out in the streets first and foremost, and then moved on to kind of producing rather than just kind of thinking, oh yeah, let's just battle on the street. So have you ever kind of dabbled in that?
Not in like battle rapping per se, but I would also say like the more I started making music, the more I started finding friends who were also into making music and rapping, and then we would kind of like cipher, I would say would be the correct term. Yeah. Like make ciphers, just throw a beat on and all of us just like go at a party. And then you would like go to parties from like different towns and you find like the other kids that rap there and you like kind of rap with them. Like it's like I said, it's not like it's I guess more friendly competition, you know what I mean? Like but like you were there and just kind of like throwing it down a bit.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking while you're talking about kind of cipher and thing like that, because I'm Australian. My big influence was kind of the American rap scene, and from where I kind of grew up, it was that kind of demographic. Not very kind of well off. Went through tough times, so it just kind of gravitated towards hip hop, and I like basketball as well. So they kind of and graffiti, so everything just kind of gelled. And while you're talking, then I was just thinking about. I remember going to a pub and jumping in one. I seen these guys doing a cipher, and I thought, "Fuck it, I can do this shit." And anyway, I ran over it. I just started doing this stuff. My mate comes up to me. He goes, "Simon, you sound fucking Canadian." And I went, "Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?" He goes, "No, man, just spit like you're Australian." And I went, "Yeah, but that doesn't sound right, man. That doesn't sound right." So that moment in my head, I was like, "Nah, that's the last time I do that. I'm never doing that again." But anyway, the guys that I was doing the cipher with, they kind of liked it. So cool. But I had to kind of play this Canadian accent all through the night. Then I was like, "Yeah, man, you know what? I like that." And that was more Texan, you know what I mean? But
that sounds like from Southern America too.
Yeah, I know.
Funny how that ties in from when you were starting off the northern southern UK dialects and whatnot too. Yeah.
So you've just insulted every Canadian on the planet now, mate.
I have, man. I know. You know what? I've checked out our insights anyway. We don't get many people from Canada, so fuck off. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
well, I think it's time to listen to a track. I'm really anticipating what Kieran has to offer, and I want to give my honest review on it as well. So let's get into it, mate.
Let's get into it. Let's play this first track. First time I've heard it as well.
Is that the slap in the mix, or is this a slap to my face? I think I gotta erase the times I created my own mistakes, but the stakes have risen, now I do whatever it takes. I talk about ambition to those who can't relate. State to state, I make my music known through my name, but at this pace I'm regressing, so I pray this isn't a race. The bittersweet regret in my mouth is what I taste. All I see is pigs and chickens, it's a barnyard in this place. Shit, this ain't no TED Talk, this blood, sweat, and tears. This is time spent in years, and this is years lost to beers. But the beers that I've got guzzled down, should've never been cheered. The way I keep myself in drive, I don't even wanna steer. The way I met life, you think I play for the Jets. The way my queen be hitting, but she don't play for the Mets. I never regret a word that was spoken from my chest, but the guts from my blunt can't leave me under arrest. Man, stop it, I ain't famous and I ain't even make it yet. All these pictures and murals that ain't even been painted yet, and all these people that remain hated yet. Still keep an eye out if I even ever go and make some bread. Don't mean to be out of pocket, that was so offbeat. Never let some rats get some cheese off me. I've been making all these buckets like a 3-on-3. So let's roll up another, man, all this weed's on me. Damn, I'm not a martyr, I'm just more like a zealot. Smoke go round and round, man, this shit is propelling. When I said I gave you the scoop from the brine and the melon, you probably didn't expect this be the story I'm telling. I'm married to the game, but why the fuck I tie the knot? The game's a bad wife, she trifle and lie a lot. This animal left the carnival and then blew up the spot. This was the legend and tale of the mighty fire crotch. Carnival coming. Fire crotch. I'm out.
Okay. So, yeah, you know what? I like it.
Is this thing on? All right, cool. What's going on, man? It's your boy, Louis Long from Strong Island. And Kieran wouldn't let me back in the studio to let me promote my son, Mike Piazza Patrick Ewing's brand new fundraiser. See, Mike Piazza Patrick Ewing is joining his rec basketball league this year, but they have no jerseys. So I suggested this fundraiser. I'm going to sell as many blues, I'm going to sell as many bars, I'm going to sell as much dope as possible, just so we can get some fly-ass gear, fam. Shit. Yo, what the fuck? Louis, get the fuck out of my studio. Yo, what's up, fam? Do you like hate kids or something? I'm just trying to help my son, Mike Piazza Patrick Ewing, out. He's an infant. There's no infant rec basketball leagues. You're just trying to sell drugs for money. It is a narcotics-based fundraiser. How many times do I have to explain this to you, Kieran?
You know what? Get the fuck out of here.
Get out.
Fire crotch.
Oh man, my mind was blown just then. Okay.
Yeah, I thought when he said I'm out, that's it, I'm out. Like I wasn't expecting this.
You know, man, when I'm going, come on, it's still going, man. It's still going. You just got to.
Yeah. Well, when you're going like that, I'm thinking you're going to fucking drop a jingle.
Right?
Like sometimes you just drop a jingle just in there, man. That just fucks me up completely. But Kieran, I have to say, man, yeah, beats clean, vocals are clean, storytelling is clean. It's quite nice to listen to like a rap music or a rap song that actually you can kind of actually listen to it, if that makes sense, and understand everything that's being said and like being taken on a journey. The one thing that I think is missing from it, I reckon a hook could have been nice in there somewhere, or maybe a chorus that just to kind of like break up the whole storytelling thing. So you could have, because it just seemed like one long verse to me, which isn't a problem because obviously you're telling a story. But yeah, I think a hook or a chorus in there somewhere along the line could have been good. And yeah, I like the whole Eminem style at the end as well, man, because yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, I like to add like little skits and whatnot because I kind of that's off my mixtape Fire Crotch, and that's actually the outro record to it. Instead of making it like a traditional outro per se, I wanted to give it like that longer verse. So like that would be my one rebuttal to the one chorus or hook. But it's funny when I do re-listen to it, I'm like, I could have probably saved this for like, you know, another song, you know what I mean? But like, that's always like, I could always go back and like rework something like that, you know?
Do you know what? I kind of a little bit disagree with Casper, as always. I just find that because it wasn't a fast rap, it was slow, it was melodic. I quite liked it without a hook. I think the hook would have just broken it up too much. I just kind of liked how it was wavy, so to speak. And you can probably tell that, you know, if you were sitting back pulling cones all day, that's the kind of track you can just sit and listen to. And I think the hook will make it a little bit cheesy if you add that. But that's my opinion, you know.
No, see, I have to disagree with you because I reckon if you was to put a hook in there and it was the right sounding hook and the right style of hook, then I reckon it could take take it somewhere else. I reckon that if a female was to jump on the hook and the chorus on that track, then also, I say it all the time though, man. I think females and rap music, they just go together. They're like, especially female singers and rappers, they just go together. Like Ja Rule was the pioneer of it back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He made it work, and him and Ashanti together, like back in the day, was just pure gold. So that's why I kind of disagree with you, because if the right female was on it saying the right thing, then I reckon you'd be like, oh wow, okay, fuck, I wasn't kind of expecting that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that'll soften it down. And Ja Rule's like a wet blanket anyway, so I don't rate him at all. But
no, it's not that I don't rate him, but he done it right. That's what I'm saying. He done it to sell records, man.
He did. But it would be really nice if you kind of take a really old school, even olden day sample of female singing or something like that, just to snip it, put it through it somewhere. I don't know where, maybe on a high or something like that, or I don't know. Anyway, you make.
And the one thing I did notice: no fucking auto tune in sight.
Yeah.
No auto tune. We get so many fucking rappers that just rely on auto tune so heavily, and that's why I kind of liked it, man, because I could just hear your vocals and they were crisp, they were clear, and the story you was telling as well, man. Like I kind of get what you were saying, that you try to be clever with your lyrics as well. Like you try adding like a comedy factor into your lyrics as well. So like that definitely comes across as well, especially with the M part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to try to add like little anecdotal things to it. And with like auto-tune, like it's not that for that track in particular, I didn't use it. Like, sometimes I throw some auto-tune on a track here or there. It all depends on like the feel of it. But like it's like for that type of beat, like so unnecessary, like it's just like not right for the type of beat, type of vibe, the chill to it.
Yeah, definitely. And it was funny though, we had a guy on last week who goes by Bully, and we were like going, nah, fucking auto-tune shit. His next song had auto-tune in it. And we're like,
no, that's funny, because I think the next song I sent you guys does have auto-tunes. That's why I'm holding the stance.
All right, I won't play it, man. I'll just cut it. No, it's all good. It's all good. No,
but I see what he's saying though. I totally see what you're saying with the auto. It's like when you hear it all the time, it becomes like you're almost like desensitized to it. So it's like you need like a fresher breath air every once in a while,
If it's used well, that's fine. What I find auto-tune is these days is just a backup singer. So it's just having a backup singer. Why not just have a backup singer and get rid of auto-tune? I don't know. That's just my opinion. But yeah, getting back to the track, that I liked it, man. I've had many come downs where I just need a track like that to listen to after a big heavy night where you just
I was going to say it's an easy listening track, isn't it? It's just an easy listening rap track, and like it was great, man. But I want to hear this auto tune track now, not so I can pick it apart, but just so I can kind of see the contrast of the auto tune versus the non auto tune.
Definitely.
This one's a little fun too, so it's not like I'm just like doing the contemporary here. So it's like, hopefully you like it. If you don't, I'll try again next time.
They're just opinions at the end of the day, man. They're just opinions.
Just a female on it. Casper will be happy. No, in all seriousness, I've got a quick question before playing this next track. What is Fire Crutch? I know what it is.
So I call it fire crotch because like in the US, I'm not sure how it is over there. The term ginger is like a kind of like, a down-putting term fire crotch. Yeah. So I kind of take that and like use as like a term of endearment and like have it like be for like the title of the project. But the project itself is more of like going on a journey with me. And it's a little bit of satire too, because it's like, I feel like every creator kind of goes into something like, I'm going to make this like the greatest rap album ever. I'm going to make this the greatest project or whatever. So I kind of take you track by track on like the steps of the creative process, like all throughout Fire Crotch and like making it. And then I kind of like toward like the end of it, it kind of becomes like a big turnaround where it's like, I'm so like consumed with like all that it's like I'm like, let's just make the art, let's just put it out there and like not make it like this whole like it has to be the best, like just create.
Yeah. Just make it raw, man. Just make it as real as possible. And I say it all the time, just because sometimes when artists come on the show, just because maybe I don't like it or Charcoal don't like it, someone's out there that will like it for sure. But yeah, man, let's hear the auto tune track, and let's get into that.
We're just gonna. Let me run it up. So yeah, so you listen to obviously the chalk and cheese. We gotta throw that in for our sponsorship. What sponsorship, you ask? We don't fucking have one. But yeah, this next track by Kieran's called Auto Tune. No, it's not really. It's called Wow. Let's go. Wow.
Look, smoking weed since I was 13. Cotton mouth, I'm so thirsty. Smoking bad weed, telling bad jokes. Never in school, never learning. Now it's loud pack. About that time, I need some earbuds. So appalled out, dogged out. Why this ginger be looking like Airbud? These AirPods bump that bass. Airball, no shot. Take a minute off of that hourglass and break that. No time wasting. 16s at 16 while I paint my ceiling like the Sistine Chapel. Rap bars mad hard, so I compose that art on my MacBook Apple. Why do these people think my hair is orange? 3 of these bears and they ain't got porridge. Am I in the jungle? Am I in the forest? Once animal dropping, there's still no endorsements. Thought my raps would blow up, take the game and Jason Bourne it. I cannot complain, I won't cry, I don't whine, so I guess I'll court. This Jungle Book, bare necessities, honey to the bees, squad to the trees, chicken to the fox, master to the cheese, horse to the barn, arthritis to my knees. Even I'm praying on my downfall, how I feel so blessed why I never sneeze. Now the ocean spray each and every day, enough grains of sand make a fucking beach. The young redhead who wanna be in all that was stuck sitting mad in the back of the class while I write raps, just stuff in my backpack. Young still wanna steak a chicken like a snack wrap. Little out cash on bombs over Baghdad, brand new post, I might double tap that, find that bond, take breath, impact that blood so potent that might need a hazmat. Wait, hold up though, you got me feeling like walk up in the spot, everybody like F said I would though, then I just might sipping on the shit all night like oh I just might, man I will though, cup the ball night. I've been fucking with the vibes, they be all types. Oh I just might. Oh yeah, that's definitely what I need for this record. Woo! Alright, I just rapped my ass off. I need to take a second real quick. Then I'm gonna get back to it. Turn on the TV, let my mind rest. Ooh, Talladega Nights.
No, it's finished, Cash Busters. I'm a jerk of it.
You know what? Yeah, the Owen Wilson sample of Just Wow, man, just fucking killed me, man. Like
that was the base of like the whole like how it came to be. It just kind of came to me. I'm like, what if I just like took that and like just threw it in there, like almost as like a perk or something like that, or even like as a hook, like basically.
Yeah, man.
And then I was just like, all right, let's go from there. And then that's kind of like there was the unfolding of it, you know,
because we listen. I listened to the track and I'm listening. Then all of a sudden you just hear that Owen Wilson sample come in, and it just makes me laugh. It's one of the, it just literally makes me laugh. I sense the kind of like a lot of in that track, especially just what I hear anyway. A lot of Eminem influence in that track, like with the style of rapping that you do and your flow on that track as well. It's not a bad thing. It's not like you're imitating Eminem, because it's very, very hard to do that and you have your own style. But it was just kind of like the lyrical flowing of the way that you was rapping just kind of reminded me a little bit of Eminem, man. But I like the track, and it's like I say, man, the Owen Wilson that sample just makes it for me, man. That is very, very clever on how you use that sample. Very clever.
Yeah. And can I ask a question, like with you, because sometimes the previous song especially, it sounded like you had a rapper on, you know, so do you kind of say like a 16 and then cut it and then change your voice and then do another 16? Like how have you done it? Because it's kind of
so it's like I'll do like comps basically. So I'll do like my whole verse real quick, and I kind of like switching my voice up a little bit, especially if I were to do like a chorus or something like that, just to give it like a little bit of contrast. And so like it really stands out against the verse. So like, yeah, it's all just me. So I'm like, maybe I should give myself like a higher octave for the chorus or whatnot, or even for like a little 4-bar set in the middle of a verse, like maybe switch it up a little bit, like just keep them on their toes a little, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Because like that first track, I was going, hang on, it doesn't say a feature there or anything like that. I thought there was another person jumping on. But yeah, quite clever. And right near the end, how you kind of switched up that beat as well, like you dropped that heavier bass in. I wasn't expecting that, because sometimes, you know, when you hear a song, it's just like, oh yeah, it's constant, but like having to mix it up was quite different. And yeah, well done. That's good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, and that is that. Thank you very much, Kieran, for coming onto the Chalk and Cheese show. Just tell everybody in the UK where they can kind of find your podcast and your music, your IG, etc.
Awesome. So start with our podcast, me and my friends. It's the Gravcast. You can go find that on YouTube or SoundCloud. Right now, just look up the Gravcast. We have about 17 out right now. We're about to be doing number 18 and 19 coming up. You can find my music on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify. Yeah, like all the major DPSs under Kieran, Kieran, just lowercase the I.
Cool.
And find me on Instagram at Kieran Graham. Find me on Twitter at Kieran Stewart Show or at K Stewart Show. And yeah, that's all from you guys.
If you want to send us all those links,
I'm just gonna hit you guys with that for sure, because that's like
it was like fucking hell. I need to hit.
Yeah, I'm like, let me buy the
Yeah, maybe.
Big shouts out an award ceremony. All right, guys.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Kieran, for appearing on the Chalk and Cheese show, mate. And we, of course, will keep in touch with you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, man. Good luck, Joseph Soul. Thanks, man. Thanks for taking a listen. I'll definitely peep you guys for sure.
And also all your tracks will be featured on. We have our very own radio station that's linked onto our website as well. So your tracks will be added to the playlist, so people from around the world can listen to them as well. Okay.
Oh yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much, mate. Take care.
Awesome. Have a good one. Thank you.
And that was Kieran. Alive on the Chalk and Cheese show. Now we have a very special guest all the way from Hawaii at the moment, Joseph Soul. Now some of you might know the name Joseph Soul.
I don't think so.
He was on a very popular TV show in the US called The Voice. Everybody knows The Voice. We're going to get into that as well, because I actually found Joseph by looking through YouTube. So I like Charcoal. He looks on Instagram for artists. I look on YouTube like for artists. So I actually found Joseph Soul, and he done a rendition on The Voice. It must have been for one of his auditions of a Bob Marley tune, and I heard it, and the way he just switched it up, man, it was just fuck. I'd never heard a Bob Marley track like perform like that ever. So Mr. Joseph Soul, how are you today, mate?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me. Just blessed to be able to share my music and my story with people around the world, especially in the UK, man. I know how big like R&B music is out there, so it's one of my dreams to come out there and perform for sure.
Definitely. No, and like I said at the start of the show, I'm going in blind with you, and you're kind of Casper's mold. So Casper loves R&B. I love my hip hop. I love R&B as well, but I left this one up to Casper. I said, yeah, you know what? You go out and find a few people like he did. So I haven't heard your tracks. So I'm
probably for the best. No, I'm just joking.
Do you know what?
You know what? I haven't heard Joseph's original tracks, but I've heard obviously the stuff that you performed on The Voice. So while we're actually on the subject of The Voice, why did you decide to go into The Voice? Because obviously there's a whole process before you actually perform in front of the judges, isn't there? And so what's kind of like the general process of the whole audition like starter?
Yeah. So I let me just fast forward to, I wouldn't say the beginning, but like let's go to 2004. American Idol came to Hawaii, and I stood in line overnight and I was in the front of the line, like probably in the first 50 people to audition. And I was with three people, three of my friends, or two of my friends, three of us total. One of them, in my opinion, still to this day, is one of the top 5 vocalists ever to come out of Hawaii. His control and his range, it's impeccable. He actually worked with Scott Storch and stuff like that. He's had some pretty successful years in his career, but he and I both got denied. And our third friend that was with us is also an amazing artist as well, but he made it, and he actually made it to the top 24 of that season. And because of that, it really put off these singing shows for me. And so I never really considered ever trying out again after that. This is 2004, right? And then in 2018, The Voice reached out to me and offered me basically like a skip the line pass. You just go straight to the producer auditions. And I was with like some of the people who stood in line all night who had made it, and
Wow.
And this is for season number 15. And I made it through that, and I got all the way right before the blinds, and they cut me. I never got to sing in front of the judges or anything like that. Fast forward to 2019, December, they reached out to me on Instagram and offered me the same type of situation. They were coming to Hawaii. So I auditioned, and this time we made it. I made it all the way through to the blinds. But in terms of choosing The Voice, I actually really didn't choose it. It chose me, in a sense. But it is the one show that I had always wanted to go on since the very first season. I wouldn't have stood in line for it again. But like I said, had this opportunity been presented to me, I would have ran with it. I knew before I went on, I knew 7 people that had already been on the show, and all 7 of them had the same type of golden ticket, I would say, skip the line.
So with the show, obviously you have kind of met some famous people, good artists. What was Gwen like? Was she, because she was a bit crazy, obviously, back in the day when she was obviously writing songs and things like that. But what was she like in person?
She's a sweetheart, man. I will say this, that I really didn't interact with the coaches other than when we filmed, except for at the very end when I made it to the live shows. We were doing a band rehearsal, and Gwen was on a Zoom call, and for the whole rehearsal for like half an hour, and we were talking story and stuff like that, and that wasn't filmed. And so she was actually herself. Her kids were playing on the couch behind her. It was pretty neat, and we had a really good conversation. And I'll never forget this because it's Gwen Stefani, but she said, "Joseph, there's just something so sexy about your voice. If there were 31 flavors, I'd choose you every time." I'll never forget that.
That's a massive compliment. That's
right?
a massive compliment.
It was such a blessing.
Have you ever tried to kind of reach out to her after the show?
I've tagged her a couple times on Twitter, but to be honest, I don't think she sees that stuff. And honestly, unless you make it to say the finale, they don't really keep in touch with you. I honestly would have to explain to her how she knew me. In my opinion, maybe she'll remember me, but I know for sure, like, I'd have to explain myself to John and Kelly, even though I was on Kelly's team initially. I'd probably have to say, "Hey, you remember me?" And they'd probably be like, I'd be like, "I was on your team on The Voice." With like 150 other people through the years.
Wow. Just shut your eyes and I'll start singing, and maybe that'll go.
Exactly. Maybe that might help. Who knows?
So obviously you got past the blind auditions. You got the chair turn. You was on Kelly Clarkson's team. And then obviously the battle rounds come. How was the battle rounds? Because that shit is tense, right? Because
man,
you have you, and then you have another great artist standing in your way, and you don't know which way it's going to go, right?
Yeah. Well, so after Kelly's team was formed, we sit there and we look at the different potential pairings, and really there was only one option for me, and it was Dez, because we were the only 2 R&B singers on that team. There were 2 country singers, there were 2 pop singers, there was an opera singer, and so it was inevitable for us to get put together. And me personally, I thought that Dez, who I battled with, I thought she was the best vocalist on the entire show. There were about 80 of us there initially, and only 40 spots on a team. I think 50 total had the opportunity to audition, and I got to hear quite a bit of them. And before we even met, I heard her stuff, and I was blown away because her control and her range, it's some of the best control and range I've ever heard in my life. And even at the time, she was singing in Kanye West's Sunday service choir. So I mean, like, dude, this is I'm not gonna front. Like, I've been in the game for a minute. I've been around a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of things. The Voice wasn't even, in my opinion, well, in terms of celebrity, it wasn't the biggest thing I've done. Obviously the views on TV and stuff like that, it trumps everything. But in terms of working with celebrities, I've worked with tons of celebrities over the years. And so that to me wasn't that big of a deal. But in terms of Des and battling with her, I thought that was going to send me home for sure. And so I just tried my best to do as best as I could. And thankfully, I mean, they put we were the second battle to actually film. And the reason they did that was because they knew that, like, we were both going to bring it, and somebody would probably want to steal us, one of us, whoever lost, they'd probably want to take us. And just so happened Gwen wanted to take me to her team, and it worked out.
Wow, man.
Des ended up getting 4th place on the entire show.
Gee.
Fuck, man. 4th out of thousands of people.
40,000 people total auditioned.
Exactly. And you come 4th. That made fucking hats off to you, man, because that would have been the week just before the final, right?
She left. She was in the final. I left 2 weeks before the final. So I was in the live playoff, and then the semifinals had 9, and then the finals was the top 5. But I think, honestly, it's I don't want to get too much into politics and race and stuff, but in 20 seasons of The Voice, a Black female singer has never won. And in my opinion, they're some of the best vocalists, if not the best vocalists on the show. Yeah. And so that might have had something to do with it as well. But but in all fairness, Carter, who did win the season, is an incredible kid and incredibly talented. And I think he deserved to win.
So on the back of, like, coming out of The Voice, like, what happened? Did you kind of get approached by anyone? Like, what happened to yourself? Did you kind of take a little bit of time out and kind of reflect?
Like I said, I've been in the game for a minute. I have, as a producer, I've got millions and millions of streams. As an artist, I haven't really had my break, but I've backed up a ton of artists through the years. And when I say that, like, Hawaii, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but we have kind of our own music industry in Hawaii. There are people who get millions of streams that nobody's heard of in the States that are just gigantic here in Hawaii. Okay. And so, I mean, back in the day, people were going gold and platinum selling records, and you'd never hear of them because they're just from Hawaii. They're just we do island reggae music here. It's kind of a play on Jamaican, like, roots reggae music, but we've kind of turned it into our own sound through the years. And it's very R&B driven, and it's very, like, island driven. So it's just island music. So you'll even hear it in my stuff, even though, like, Afterlife is more of like a trappy, kind of like a trappy, almost EDM kind of vibe in a sense, but it's still, you can hear the piano skank. You can hear my singing is very R&B. Like,
is it because did you kind of take that angle with that song? It's because you kind of wanted to not move away from kind of the Hawaii vibe, but tap into the kind of US commercial vibe with that track?
Well, essentially, yes and no, because it doesn't really fit into any mold that is popular in the US. It's kind of unique in a sense, because I'm fusing trap with future bass is the type of music that I'd really like to do. I'm a big future bass fan. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that genre in particular, but it's really big jazzy chords and trap drums almost, and that's ultimately what I'd like to do, because I could go on forever about what I want to do. But anyway, so this song is probably as close to that while keeping some of the island vibe to hopefully be familiar enough to my local following, which my following in Hawaii is probably my largest following.
Wow. You know what? That's different to the kind of the conversations that we usually have with artists on the show. People don't mess with people in their own kind of town. The reason why I'm saying is that because a lot of the artists say they have to move to another state or move to another area just to get recognized, because it's funny that you don't get the support from your own people from where you are. You have to actually,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, for what you said, having that in Hawaii, that's really, that obviously means, you know, that you're quite talented in what you do. People respect that music. So
yeah.
Shall we listen to the track, Casper?
Yeah, let's get it, man. Yeah.
Let's get it. So, yeah, what we're talking about, the Afterlife track, and this is Joseph Soul. Let's go.
Also, it's a work in progress. Almost there, though.
I mustn't have been forgiven for my sins, since I'm missing my misses from decisions with these women. This must be what hell is, 'cause I just lost my life. When you know what it's like to die, only then you see the light. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. My ears, they don't listen. My eyes stray, my vision so senseless. My senses can't sense her perfection. Now I'm wishing I had more time, but I just lost my life. When you know what it's like to die, only then you see the light. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? No reason why you breathe, it won't bring you back to life. No, no. Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife? Why'd you only see the light in the afterlife, afterlife?
You looked into the Chalk and Cheese show. That was the sounds of Joseph Soul with Afterlife. Charcoal, what did I tell you, man? I told you this was fucking the shit. I told you, man. I told you. You know what I love about that, Joseph? Fucking hell, man. When I first, okay, that's the first time I heard it. Yeah. So, like, just like the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds, I thought, right, your voice will sound great on the Joel Corey track straight away. He is a UK DJ, fucking massive over here, man. Dance DJ, so he does that dance music. And then the second artist I could compare you to is another UK artist called Emanike as well. He's works with Joel Corey. He has that kind of sound, but then I thought, okay, he has the perfect voice for an old school garage tune as well. You could easily do a reggae tune. You could, mate, it's the possibilities are fucking endless. But you know what I like about it? Because you've just mixed two of my favorite genres together, which is reggae music and R&B, man. And for me, pure fire. I think like the vocals on it is great as well. The harmonies are great on it. Good. could I make a suggestion to improve it? Probably, but you said it's like a work in progress, right? So I'm not even going to judge it like that, because if it's not completely finished, I can't even say, right, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. But yeah, man, I like the style. I like what you're trying to do with it. And yeah, man, I think it's a pure banger. But the only thing I probably could suggest is if it was just sped up a little bit. Just a little bit, because I kind of I kind of see that I kind of see where the beat is, and then I see where the vocals is, and I'm kind of confused whether it's kind of like a slow jam or something else that is trying to be. Does that make sense?
That's the problem I've been facing, is trying to, like, because the music I want to do is future based, like I said, but I'm an R&B singer, so it's like trying to and I'm from Hawaii, so we do reggae here, so like trying to appease to my island fam, they need to have something familiar, and so that's where that reggae skank comes in. But I don't want to get stuck in an island, because like a lot of the people that I know that like I've produced, for example, they're stuck here. They'll never be able to get out of it. And with the opportunity that The Voice gave me, it was able to establish me as an R&B artist. So it's I'm kind of in like a weird place musically. The one thing that this version doesn't have yet is the bridge. So I'm actually I did the music and everything, so I'm like still working on the bridge. And I'm probably gonna redo all the vocals, but this is the closest to what I'm trying to do musically, is this song right here.
And you can see that kind of EDM shine through with that beat, and it's quite clever how you've mixed it with a little bit of trap. Kind of reminded me a little bit of I've said this before, from an artist, kind of like that trip hop. Kind of that vibe, that feel to it, just kind of laziness. But I love how you brought that kind of island flavor into it as well. Just the little subtle parts of it, like I don't know, the little chimes in the background.
That little ding.
Yeah. I was just like, ooh. See, that's with me. I like listening to beats rather than vocals. You know what I mean? And even though the vocals were tight, the crispness of that, and that's probably the wrong word, but the crispness of that beat, that was just sublime. And you can tell you're a talented producer, because that was ace. Lyrically, I liked it because you kind of brought in those backup vocals as well, like not too much. It wasn't, a lot of the songs that we hear is very saturated. Sometimes you have backup vocals through the whole track, and it just kind of gets a bit lost. But yeah, that was a very, very good song, man.
Thank you
one
so
thing
much.
I meant to kind of ask you, and will that kind of feature in an album that you're bringing out, or an EP, or?
Yes. So I lost your audio, I think.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry, there you are. So this I'm working on an EP/album. I'm still not quite sure what I want to do. I have 12 songs, but then I might just drop 6 and then maybe do another 6 later. The issue that I'm facing with the project is that this is pretty much the only song that sounds like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the other tunes are straight island reggae. I'm talking live drums, live horns, and everything is straight island, like Bob Marley, like just reggae. There's nothing crossover about it. And so
I need to hear that shit for sure.
I'll send you that on the side. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, can you do me a favor, right? Write down this name, and this guy's done it really, really well. If you have a look, he's been in, like, he's an artist from New Zealand, so he's got kind of that island flavor. So he's Maori. His name's Shay Fu, so CH.
Oh, I know Shay, yeah.
Oh, do you?
I know a lot of New Zealand and Australian artists. I've played in Australia before, so I was going to ask you what part of Australia you're from.
That's mad. Man, he's my favorite artist.
Nice, yeah, Shay's dope.
Shay Fu. And that's what I was trying to get to. Like, he can put like a fast track in there with his vocals as well, and he'll rap over the top of it as well, like certain sections. It's like, whoa. I
rap in my live performances, but I just don't know if I'm a rapper per se, so I don't know if I would want to just rap on my songs. But when I play live, I'll spit Fabulous, Biggie, Common. I'll spit their rhymes when I play live.
Wow.
But it's just, I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I qualify. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
maybe one day. But
it brings you that kind of different element. So
definitely,
people aren't expecting that. People are thinking, oh, I'm going to see, Joseph in the R&B show, and then all of a sudden you bust out a rap. You're like, oh shit.
Well, so I don't know if you had a chance to check out my bio, but I've been a DJ since 1997. I'm a turntablist. I'm a multi-battle winning nightclub DJ. I had residencies in Vegas and Hollywood, like traveled all around the world. I've DJed in Asia, Kuwait, like that was my shit. My name is DJ Odyssey. Like it's tatted on my arm,
Wow.
And so in 2012 is when I decided to just, like I realized that the type of DJing that I do, like I'm like a DJ, like AM and Vice would be like the closest comps to my style. I'm not trying to say I'm as good as them, but that's as far as you can go with it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Unless you start producing shit and like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm a producer too, but like I mostly produce reggae music, that stuff doesn't go.
And that's why kind of A-Track, he's doing well in the business, just brought out a new, what is it, mixer as well. So
yeah, the S7, I think it was.
Yeah. So, artists like that. So I guess when you're in that game, you know what I mean? You're exposed to a lot of great artists, especially if you're touring with DJ. I
would open and close for Pauly D and get paid pennies. I mean, I say pennies, but several $100s, and he's getting 20 grand. And I'd shit on him, like no offense to the homie, but and so when I saw that it didn't matter how good you were, it only mattered how famous you were. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go focus on singing because I can be way better as a singer. And then I'll come back to the city and get my 20 grand as a celebrity DJ.
Yeah.
But actually be good.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, like the more and more we are talking, like fucking the reggae style is really, really like intriguing me, because next week we're actually going to Switzerland to support a reggae artist that has appeared on our show. Now her name's Samora, but you've got people like Turbulence is going to be there because she done a track with Turbulence. If you're
like
familiar.
DJ Turbulence.
No, Turbulence, the artist.
Oh shit, no, I know DJ Turbulence.
Yeah, no,
I don't know the artist. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, man. So he's quite a big artist in Jamaica. So that's where we're off to next week, man. Like just to check out the whole reggae vibe in Europe.
I see.
So yeah, for me, it's almost like a wet dream, because in the reggae is just my style. I lived in the Caribbean for a whole year as well. So when you was talking about that, the island vibe and everything like that, and their Pacific type of music that they do, because it's kind of like a mix between calypso and reggae and dancehall, kind of mashed up into one. So I kind of get it, like what you're saying with like Hawaii and the island vibe and stuff like that. And it's a great vibe to have, man, because there was this one guy that like he was huge on YouTube. He was from Hawaii. He sung Somewhere Over the Rainbow. He was a big guy.
Israel Kamakaviva Ole.
Yeah, if that's his name. He
passed away in 96, I believe. And then he became like super famous. I'm gonna email you guys one of the more reggae songs. It's probably gonna be the single off of the project, just because I know they'll play it on the radio out here. But let me email you that link instead of. I mean, the second one I sent is more of like a '90s R&B, and it's closer to like.
Anyway. We're gonna play that anyway. I tell you what, Choco. While Joseph is sending that over, let's listen to some smooth '90s R&B, man, because that's my shit. That is my shit.
So yeah, you listen to the Chalk and Cheese Show with Joseph Soul, and this one is Don't Ever Change.
Sunlight cascading through the clouds on a rainy day. Ain't got nothing on the way you make me feel. You can take my worst day and turn it around, 'cause you know how to make me smile. All you got to do is just be you, my baby boo. It's clear this day was meant for me. All you got to say is that you'll stay with me forever, and I promise I'll be true to you. My love, don't change. Just always keep it real with me. Yeah. 'Cause you know that I'm true, and I can only see myself with you. So please just love me and don't you ever change, girl. Don't you change. You're perfect the way that you are. But you know I love you because you're more than enough. Never have I felt the way you make me feel when I'm with you, my love. 'Cause girl, you were my dream come true. I'm sure I would be lost without your love. All you got to do is just be you, my baby. Ooh, it's clear this day was meant for me. And you, you. All you got to say is that you'll stay with me forever. And I promise I'll be true to you, my love. Don't change the way you feel. Just always keep it real with me. Yeah. 'Cause you know that I'm true, and I can only see myself with you. So please just love me and don't you ever change, girl. Don't you change. Said you're perfect the way that you are. No. 'Cause you know I love you. I love you, my baby. Don't change the way you feel. Just always keep it real with me. Yeah. 'Cause you know that I'm true, and I can only see myself with you. So please just love me and don't you ever change, girl. Don't change the way you feel. Just always keep it real with me. Yeah. 'Cause you know that I'm true, and I can only see myself with you. So please just love me and don't you ever change, girl.
Yeah, man. That's fuck. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is what you missing. That's the vibe right there, man. That is
Yeah.
the vibe right there, my fucking hell. Where do I even start with that, Choco? Shit, the production is just pure fire, man.
Thank you, man.
It's like it could be in the charts now. You know what I'm saying? It could be in the charts right now, man. It doesn't sound like it's come from an unsigned artist. That is an established artist sound, man. And essentially, that's what you are, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it sounds
Good way
weird.
to put the guy down.
You're right.
But you sound established. The production is established. You brought old school 90s R&B back. I think that's what the world's missing right now, man. Like that smooth, sexy R&B. I loved it, man. I can't say anything more about it, man. But I loved it.
Thank you so much.
I think Casp's going to nick that one, steal it, and use it in his car for a little bit. That's what he usually does. But one thing, like, I'm going to challenge Casper here, as I always do. Okay, so we've got 3 artists that we've had on the show. Put you on the spot here. You've got DeAndre Perriman, who was in The Voice as well.
He was American Idol, but yeah.
Idol. You've got Rhymes, and you've now got Joseph Sol.
Who's the best, right?
Well, think about the style of music as well.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, so Rhymes and Joseph are pretty much on the same wavelength
Yeah.
regarding bringing that R&B back, because Rhymes he's always promoting I'm bringing back sexy R&B, and that's what he's doing. He's just fucking talented, man. He's the guy's unreal. Oh fuck, man, it's close between Joseph and Rhymes. You know, I'm not even going to talk about.
I don't want to know.
But sorry, man, I didn't want to put anyone on the spot with that
I don't even want to talk about DeAndre, because I think Joseph and Rhymes are better than DeAndre. I'm sorry, DeAndre, if you ever watching, man, but like he said, like he's talking about, like DeAndre was talking about Neo and like having beef with Neo and like about collaboration, blah 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 blah. It don't mean nothing because it never happened. But with Rhymes and you, Joseph, fuck, man, I want to hear you two on the track together. That's what I want to hear.
Check him out, Instagram, Rhymes, RYMEZ. But anyway,
man, if you two hooked up on one single track, it's gonna be fucking fire. It will blow up everywhere. I can guarantee it, man. I guarantee it right now.
He's gold. He's gold. But look, my rendition of that track, it kind of reminded me of like a Jodeci kind of track, you know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously Jodeci were a group, but just that kind of style, that, you know, sexiness, and I was trying to think of who that sounds like, and
for me, it had a Tyrese vibe.
Tyrese, I'm a big Tyrese fan.
It had a bit of Tyrese.
I'll tell you my direct inspiration. Well, there's a couple of inspirations for that particular song. One More Chance or Unfoolish, Ashanti and Biggie. So if you listen to that lead line, it's you know, it's kind of similar. And so when I actually play this song live, I go into Unfoolish, and then I have I use Ableton in my live sets, and so I have a Biggie verse acapella already synced up. And so, like I said, I rap. So I'll do Some Say the X Make the Sex Spectacular. So I'll do that verse, and then I'll record One More Chance, all the harmonies live. And then I'll be like, all right, y'all, I got a special guest in the house. He goes by the name of Christopher Wallace. And then I got the Big Papa, to all the ladies in the place with style and grace, acapella synced up over the loop that I just built for this song. And then I'll cut it out halfway through, and then I'll create Looney's I Got 5 on it. Because at the very end of that verse, he goes, jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree. So I loop, I got the chronic by the tree, and I'm building I Got 5 on it over that. And then I got the Looney's acapella, play it. You know, I got that acapella synced up too, so I triggered that live. So it's like the whole thing. But anyway,
it's like a music production in itself. Like just
essentially, yeah. I'm producing live. I mean, everything. I don't have any musical loops recorded. I only have some drum loops. But even the drums, I do live. I play keyboards, guitar, and like actual live drums when I play live. Have you heard of Jack Garrett?
I have heard of the name.
I have as well.
He's God, I don't know if he's from Ireland or something, but he's his live performance, he plays keyboards, bass, guitar, drums, everything, all, you know, and he sings. And so I'm trying to build a live set like that where I can play Coachella and all these big festivals just kind of on stage, either by myself or me and like another person who's playing bass, guitar, percussion stuff, you know, just the two of us.
So it's kind of like Ed Sheeran-esque, because he just works with a loop pedal, right? So he's doing
yes, but like
the thing is, he's playing drums, is he? He's playing like the beat on his guitar, and
and I did that. I've been doing that since 2007. That's when I first started looping, was 2007. And so but I've just, like I said, I've been a DJ for so long that I'm just trying to not change the game, but I'm just trying to evolve, you know. And I just feel like creating a hybrid DJ / live music performance would just be so cool to see live. I mean, everybody that sees me do it always, you know, I get a lot of comments and compliments upon it. So
is that the reason why kind of you went into the music production, obviously from a DJ point of view? You know, you play a track and you think, fucking hell, you could have done a little bit different in that track, even though it's not yours. So did you kind of move into production to think about your DJ sense, or was it kind of the singing side of things?
Honestly, it was a resource thing. I didn't have the resources to hire a producer, and so I just kind of figured it out on my own. I started DJing, I started playing drums, and I at 10 years old. That's when I first started those two things. But I had been playing ukulele and singing since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But I just fell in love with hip hop. And like you said, you love graffiti. I was arrested at 17 and I was one of the top 10 graffiti artists in Hawaii at the time.
Yeah, nice.
Thankfully, I was 17, so I didn't go to jail. But but my name was Drip. My hit up name was Drip, and I was all over the place out here because on my way home from DJing in the club at 2 a.m., I'm gonna stop off on the freeway and throw a quick bomb up, you know, like. So I was never good, but I just got up a lot. I breakdance. I fell in love with all facets of hip hop when I was 10 years old on an island in Hawaii where everybody's singing fucking Hawaiian and reggae music, you know. And so that's essentially where I think the production came from, just out of necessity. Like I'm 16, I'm 14, 15, 16 in high school, and like, man, I'm a singer and stuff. Yeah, I DJ'd, but like I also was a singer. So how do I record my music? I was writing songs and stuff. So I had, similar to Kieran, like I had this little Tascam Porta Studio 4-track cassette recorder, and I would make a beat on Fruity Loops at the time, record it onto the cassette on 2-track stereo, and then I would record 2 tracks of either vocals or guitar or something, and then I would take that tape, record it into SoundForge, because I've done so many things in my life. I worked in radio as a production imaging director for a radio group, so I do radio imaging, I do voice work, I do production, and so I would dump that into SoundForge, Sony SoundForge, that two track, record that 2-track back into the Porta Studio, and then record another 2 tracks of vocals, and I would just do that all day, you know, like to build a song, you know, and like I guess that's where.
Can I ask how old are you? How old you are?
I will be 36 this year.
36.
I started in 97 when I was 10 years old. That's when I started DJing parties.
You look younger than me, but I was thinking,
I don't know about that.
We live in the kind of the same spectrum, really. Exactly what you say. I used to do it all. My first vinyl was Beat Street, and that's where I fell in love. And yeah, I don't have that vinyl no more. It got yanked, but that's what kind of introduced me to, you know, getting the cardboard cutouts and just putting them on the ground, you know, doing backspins, trying to do backspins and shit like that. But it was that culture, obviously, and that's what I think today's artists, they miss that culture. You know what I mean? Like, you know, don't get me wrong, I do like today's music, but it's a different
time, man. You're growing up in a different.
There's no experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their experiences all come from here.
Yeah.
You know, and like our experiences, we live them. We actually did experience them. So it's just different.
Definitely.
You know, nothing is right or wrong. Nothing's better. You know, it's all personal. But
no, it's all.
I believe we grew up better, but like they probably believe they grew up better because they had one of these from when they were 3 years old. So
yeah, it's true. This is true. I mean, my kids are guilty as fuck, man. My son, he had a tablet at like 2 years old. My daughter had one when she was 1. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like
they'll probably be able to unlock more of their brain than we were able to playing with Legos at that age.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. My kids are fucking smart as fuck. Like my son's 5 and like my daughter's 3, and they're doing things that I would never be able to do back in the early 90s growing up.
It has its good and its bad.
Yeah, of course. But
I'll give you a perfect example of technology being good. In 2003 and 2004, actually 2004, I am a senior in high school and I have a very meager record collection. And so I was using CDs at the time. I'm a senior in high school. I don't have money to go out and buy all the Lethal Weapons and everything on vinyl. So I was the first DJ in Hawaii to use Serato Scratch Live.
Yeah, wow.
And as a result, like the Rain crew, like I did demos at Mobile Beat. I did demos at NAMM for them on their new mixers and stuff. I debuted the 68, the 62. There's stuff on YouTube of me too at their stuff. But like, I just without technology, I don't think I would be able to be where I am today. Being able to pioneer Serato here in Hawaii, like, and that gave me the opportunity to DJ more.
Are you still dabbling in the DJ scene, or are you kind of?
Not as much anymore, just because I'm so focused. Like, I lived in like the LA area in California from like 2014 to 2019, and during that time, my focus was just singing because I went hard in the paint when I was younger as a DJ, and that's what got me to the level that I got to here. I mean, we have there's this place called the Mai Tai Bar. It's one of the most probably one of the busier bars in Hawaii, and they have a DJ competition. I think they stopped doing it, but every December, and all the top club DJs come out, and we each get like a 20-minute set to do our best, and it's like 4 per week, 1 wins, and then at the very end we all compete against each other. And so like the very first year I got second place, controversially, but my brother won, so like my homie won, so I'm happy for him. Second year I smoked everybody. The third year, the DJ who I think is the best to ever come from Hawaii decided to enter and beat me by half a point. And then I moved to Vegas and I didn't compete after that. But that year that I did win, I also won one that was sponsored by 7-Eleven and Dave and Buster's. So I was just killing it that year, you know?
Wow.
But
have you kind of moved with the kind of Red Bull scene? You know how they got all the motocross and stuff like that.
So they had the Red Bull 3 style battle.
Yeah.
And the very first one that was in Hawaii was right after. So the battle that I lost by half a point was in January. I moved to Vegas the next week, and the Red Bull 3 style was like, the first one was like that summer. And I wasn't in Hawaii anymore. And the people who knew, like, they knew I wasn't in Hawaii. So they didn't necessarily, you have to be invited to that.
Sure.
And I was pretty pissed because I was like, dog, I would fly home for that shit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just in Vegas, man. It's just a flight away, but it is what it is. The guy that won is actually like, his crew back in, I would say the 90s or maybe early 2000s won DMC. So that guy, the Nocturnal Sound crew.
Who's that that Asian guy that won Red Bull Fuse back? Canelo or Catiello? It's got a really weird name.
Idea.
He's from
here?
Yeah, he's
I don't know. I haven't been following the scene like probably since 2012. I kind of once I stepped away,
he's mad, man. I was just like, wow, some of the things.
Well, back in 2010, I was ahead of the game. In 2022, I'm way behind. At this point.
Like, back then when you were probably doing you had a mixer and no pads on it probably at all.
Oh no, I had dicers. I had I would bring out like a 25 key MIDI controller initially. Like I had a 57, and then I also I would bring my little 25 key MIDI controller, and I'd have my cue points, but I also had a VST running in the background. So as soon as I change a MIDI channel, now I can play keys live or play drums live or whatever. So I was doing that back in like 2008, 2009, 2010.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what, Choco? If we do have that track, I want to hear it just to end off the interview, man, because like I say, I'm very intrigued by Joseph's reggae sound. I know I know how he can flip a Bob Marley tune because I've heard it. So
that's actually Corinne Bailey Ray's version, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yes, she's the one that made that arrangement, and then Alan Stone covered it and made it kind of more popular. But it's actually Corinne Bailey Ray. I think she's from UK.
Yeah. Billy Ray is from the UK. I just never heard that before. You was the first time that I heard that version of it. So you're the only person that I could go off of that version of. I was like, fuck, okay, yeah, man. This is good.
Thank you.
Bypassing UK straight to the Hawaii sounds. Anyway, so this is our last track we're going to play from Joseph Soul, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll just kind of touch base after this track. So let's do this.
This is no disrespect to you, girl. No disrespect. Is it girl I know? Well, I don't really know, but I'd like to know one day. Because she's high class, she's out there stacking cash, and everybody knows her name. She got that blue check mark, and she's verified, she's certified to play the game.
Fuck, man, that one is straight for the rockers for sure.
Yes, sir.
Fuck
Now,
yeah.
the bridge, I'm redoing the end of the vocals on the bridge, but pretty much that one is set.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, that's not a lovers rock track. That's it comes across more of a culture track.
Yeah.
That's definitely not lovers rock, man. But fuck, man,
100% culture.
you can fuck with it, man, for sure. Like your lyrics are catchy, your chorus is catchy. You know what I was thinking halfway through the song, and you surprised me. I was thinking, fuck, okay, it needs a break. This song needs a break, and it needs like a reggae artist just to do what he needs to do or do what she needs to do over it. And then you started like spitting
The second verse.
yeah, some mad fucking lyrics. I was like, okay, that's where it is.
I was trying to channel my inner coffee during that part.
Yeah, I mean, I was just expecting like Buju to come on the track and like fuck, okay. But then, like I say, man, you flipped it. You surprised me. I like that style of reggae, man, because that's kind of like new, fresh reggae right there. It doesn't sound like that your Beres Hammonds or your Sanchez's or your Mr. Vegas or any of them top artists. It doesn't sound like that because they're kind of stuck in the lovers rock bubble. But when it comes to like culture, man, you fucking killed it again, man. I don't know what to say, man. That the track is produced highly. Your vocals are on point. Like we all know you're a fucking fantastic vocalist, man. Like that's a given. But can you see what I'm saying? Like with going back to what Charcoal said earlier, who can you choose between Rhymes, DeAndre, and Joseph? I have to choose Joseph now, mate. How? Because he's just so fucking like versatile. You can't see Rhymes on a reggae track for sure. You won't be able to hear DeAndre on a reggae track for sure. And Joseph is an R&B artist. And for an R&B artist to fucking produce a reggae track like that, man, and make it work. Because R&B artists, they don't sing reggae music. It's as simple as.
I'm a reggae artist, to be honest, because that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm a reggae artist. That's what I do. But I want to be an R&B artist. You know what I mean?
I mean, but you say you're a reggae artist, and it comes across because of the way that you flow on that track. But your vocal sound is R&B. So
like my tone and stuff,
so that's why I love it. I'll tell you what, man, I want you to come to Switzerland next week so badly.
Okay, let me book a flight.
I want to hear you perform like live, and for sure, man, I'm going to pass on your details to an artist that we're going to see next week in Switzerland, Samora.
Please, yeah.
And I want to see, man, if you guys can create some magic, because I know she has contacts in the reggae world. Obviously, you're going to have contacts there as well, but you two together, I think, is going to be spot on, man. So yeah,
please do connect us, man.
We will. No, trust me. It's funny because we've connected so many different people from different genres, and like they've made tracks, and literally like tracks have been in albums, and we're like, wow, we did that. But look, I'm not a massive reggae lover, but I do like it. I really do. But I was more so much, rather than beat this time, I was concentrating on your vocals. Like Casper says, your vocals, man, I rate you up there as really an R&B artist, a solid R&B artist. You know, when you kind of look for flaws in tones, and you look for flaws in kind of, you know, different ranges, and you haven't got any. I couldn't pick any flaws. So it's just like, and you know how to bring in different elements as well, and subtly, and not kind of overcrowd it. And a lot of tracks we listen to are just too much, man, too much. You've stripped all that back. You made it simple. Let your vocals shine, and that's where, like, I'm boggled by you saying I'm a reggae artist, but you're not. You're an R&B artist.
I just mean by nature, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just mean by it's in my nature.
I mean, mate, the vocals alone, that's just money in the bank. Like,
man, I wish that was true. No,
I know. Like, what's next for you anyway, man? Like, because obviously, you know, you seem very busy, like a busy person. So what's
yeah, man. So I do, like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So outside of music, I have a few different businesses that I'm actually starting and trying to build right now here in Hawaii. But my wife is an epidemiologist, and she actually just accepted a position in Las Vegas as a professor of epidemiology at UNLV. And so we're actually moving to Vegas in the summer. So July, August, And what that'll allow me to do is kind of get away from the reggae stuff and be able to focus more on that like R&B and trap and kind of even the EDM stuff in Vegas.
Definitely.
So I'll give you an idea. These 3 songs are going to be either on the 6-song EP or a 12-song album, but you see how different all 3 of them are, but they're all going to be on the same project. So that's kind of what I've been struggling with, is trying to, now obviously my voice is what's going to bring them all together, but like there are people out there that are going to love Afterlife and hate Don't Ever Change, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, so
that's the way it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. It is what it is. But I'm just trying to establish, like, this project is straight vibes. Like it's not a reggae album. It's not an R&B album. It's not an EDM album. It's just vibes. Like every song is a vibe. It is its own thing. Like even on the Internet Model song, on the first verse, I even shout out a couple like Hawaii. You could find her on the Hillside Jimbo. Hillside Jimbo is the Instagram handle of my friend James. We call him Jimbo, but he's a photographer, and photographs all these girls. His whole freaking Instagram is like a damn Instagram model, so like, and then that guy Valen Alo, he's kind of the same but on the video side. So like I shout them out, people know who they are, they got tens of thousands of followers, but like nobody else in the world is going to get that, so it's a weird thing.
Have you ever thought about dabbling in Afrobeat? Because I reckon your voice will be great on an Afrobeat track as well, man. Like I think you could just put like white noise in the background and your voice is going to sound great. but
I have never tried an Afrobeat, but
Afrobeat in the UK right now, man, it's fucking hot, man. It is fire. That's.
Could you DM me some examples to check out? Because I'm not even like familiar with. I couldn't even tell you an Afrobeat song right now.
You need to check out Afrobeat.
I will.
Like just
Bully last week. Bully, that Afrobeat song that he has. Bully.
Yeah.
That was fire last week. We had him on the show. Guy named Bully on Instagram. So Bully Anwar. Check out his stuff as well.
I seen your post on. That's right.
Yeah. What was I going to ask? Yeah, that first track. See, I would like to see you dabble a little bit more in the EDM side of things. That first track, Afterlife. That was probably one.
Afterlife,
yeah, that was one of my favorite tracks of the night.
Thank you.
So I would kind of, Casper's saying, nah, do reggae. Nah, I want to see that a little more kind of beat driven. Track.
No, Afterlife is the best example of like where I would like to go. I would even like to get more future bass and EDM with like a drop, with a big huge drop in there somewhere. But yeah, I like, honestly, when it comes to producing that kind of stuff, that's where I can produce reggae all freaking day. That's what I have my millions of streams on, those art, like reggae artists. I'm still figuring it out with the sound design and everything with the future bass and EDM. Like it's so different, and like I have to take my reggae production, mindset out because it's just different. And so that's one thing I've been doing lately, is trying to collab with people who are in that realm more. It's just about a matter of like, I don't listen to it as much as I really don't listen to music that much anymore, especially when I'm creating. I'm mostly just listening to what I'm working on, or like podcasts, for example.
Yeah.
But I really need to start listening to more future bass if that's what I want to do, and just collabing with more future bass producers.
Yeah, definitely. Because
doing more stuff.
I just think
a song just popped into my head. Have you heard the Ed Sheeran's tune Peru?
Nope, but I'm gonna pop it on my Spotify right now so I can check it out afterwards.
Yeah, so that's Afrobeats. That's the best example of Afrobeats. Is with a guy called FML and Ed Sheeran. It's called Peru, and the beat behind that is just perfect, man. I reckon you could flip that beat quite easily if you was to like do it.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I actually on this project I have like Egyptian kind of vibe. It's like 87 BPMs. Yeah, but we're actually so I literally yesterday hired 2 of my really good friends because I've been working on this project for a long time. I recorded all of those vocals before I left for The Voice. That's how old these projects are. And I have a 1-year-old son. And because, like I said, my wife is an epidemiologist, like he's literally right here in his walker banging on the glass door. But I watch him, all day and every day. So I really haven't had much time to work on my music the last maybe 12 months. I've just been able to focus more on my other things. One of them being a cannabis cultivation and extraction company. But but right now, like I said, I just hired 2 of my friends. One of them was J Boog. You know who J Boog is?
Yeah, nice
to know you. Yeah, bro.
Of course, everyone know who J Boog is.
Okay, so I was in the studio when J Boog recorded his first album, like his very first one with Love Season. What else was on there? Anyway, yeah, my cousin Carl was his guitar player since the very beginning, and their band backed him up forever. But anyway, Ambrose was the bass player for Boogs after their original bass player left. He's been with them for years and years and years. He's helping me with this.
Ambrose, the reggae artist.
No, not. Are you thinking Alberosi?
Yeah.
No, not Alberosi. No, my friend Ambrose. He's a producer and a bass player, but he did a track for me like similar to Egyptian, like that 87 BPM vibe. But have you ever heard of Jamaoli? Maoli?
Again, the names ring a bell, like on the top of my head, but it's to quote any of their songs, I wouldn't know, man.
Yeah. He's a Hawaii artist, but he's Boog's ghostwriter. I wouldn't say ghostwriter, like people know he won a Grammy with him and stuff, or he was nominated for a Grammy with him and stuff like that. But so those 2, Bros and Jamaoli, are basically within this next week. I'm gonna go into the studio and finish all of these tracks with them. All of these vocals I recorded in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like just in the freaking bedroom. Like, so we're gonna go into the studio, bang out all these tracks, and this Peru. I just literally heard the first 5 seconds of it, but I can already hear the beat. It's kind of like
it's like a 90 BPM.
I Don't Care. Was it I Don't Care?
Yeah.
I Don't Care. Different. Is that a little bit different? Yeah, but like I can already hear like how the tempo and like you know, like, so I feel like that's the kind of vibe that my boy Jamaoli is trying to tell me to do. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I'll bring it up to them, but I think they're onto it already. I think that it makes sense because I'll check this track out too, but like,
yeah. And there's another artist called Teams or Terms as well. They're really good as well. I better be.
I'm just gonna Google like top Afrobeat artists and songs, and I'm sure I'll find them. Damn, sorry, it's super loud.
Yeah, man. But Joseph, yeah. I mean, if you can hook me up with J Boog on this show, Bob, I'd appreciate you.
I asked him to be on one of the songs on the album, and then I got ghosted. Not ghosted, but like, I know his wife too. So like, and she's the one that handles everything. So I could. It's just they're so strict on everything they do now.
I mean, J Boog, man, I expect him to be very, very busy all the fucking time. Do you know?
Oh yeah, they're about to go on tour soon.
Yeah, he's a superstar. So, but Joseph, let people know where they can find you and all your music and etc. etc.
Yeah, josephsoul.com. That's SOUL. That has the links to everything. I'll keep it simple. Just josephsoul.com.
Awesome. Are you on Linktree then?
No, just josephsoul.com.
Yeah.
Just the website. The website's fine.
My whole thing is like one day Linktree might not exist. So I don't want everybody going to Linktree. I'd rather them go to my website and then I have my own Linktree.
That's got our stuff then. We're gone.
Well, I mean, like it's a great service.
Yeah.
But I get nervous about those kinds of things, you know.
No, that's good. That's the weed, man. No, I'm only joking.
Fair. No, it might be.
Well, Joseph, we do really, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with us today. And mate, I'm sure you're going to blow up, because if you keep producing music the way that you're producing it, it just needs to get in the right hands, man.
Yeah.
You know this anyway, no? You know this. But,
my focus when I move to Vegas is YouTube. So I already got a big plan. Like I'm going out to the beach next week actually to film like a 20-minute set, just like with my live setup and everything, because I can tell you what I do, but you just need to hear it and see it, you know, like it's I'm gonna do that Don't Ever Change song with the Unfoolish and the Biggie and the Loonies. I'm just gonna do a mashup, mega mix, and post that.
Please.
To get things started. But
send it to us.
I will, yeah, for sure. I will for sure. But that'll be my focus, and I know that'll work. You know, you just gotta keep doing it.
Do you know what? Like tonight's been, I'd say, really, really different. We are blessed for some reason to have So many talent. I don't think we've had one bad artist on the show. Really, it's been great because everyone brings their own style, their own flavor, and you've done something different tonight, and you've obviously made me smile through a whole track. That hasn't happened for a while.
Oh man.
But, no, yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of get the goosebumps in the back of your head. And that afterlife, yeah, I'll be listening to that one. It's just me all over that. So been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and we really appreciate it. We wish you all the best at what we do. We start stalking you now. Well, I will. So we'll share everything you put on Instagram. That's what we are. We put your tracks on our playlist on our website. And look, Casper might even drop, if he's allowed, if you say yes. He does reggae sets, so he'll drop one of your tracks in his reggae set.
Yeah, that's fine.
We can even send
I'll update you guys with the finals once I get them too.
Perfect, man. That's brilliant. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and you've been listening to DJ Charcoal, and then I'm handing it over to the reins of my very best co-friend, DJ Casper. Take it away.
I'll tell you what, next week, guys, obviously we will be doing a show, but it's going to be a bit different next week because DJ Charcoal and myself will be together in the same studio. Instead of one being there, we're going to be together. So that'll be Wednesday night. Hopefully DJ Alex can join us on the show next week. And then on Thursday, here we go, man. Chalk and Cheese jet setting off into Europe, into Switzerland to go support the fabulous Samora, Turbulence, and Friends. So that's going to be a great show. We'll be recording footage, taking loads of photos, obviously doing interviews, what we do. And then we're going to be sharing it live on Facebook. Has it happened with you guys next week? So yeah, keep an eye out on the Facebook page. But yeah, until next week, guys, we have been the Chalk and Cheese Show. A massive thank you to Kieran and Joseph Soul for joining us tonight. And yeah, next week, guys, keep it. Just keep your eyes open on Instagram and Facebook because there's going to be loads and loads of fucking really good and juicy content on on all the platforms. So until next time, guys, until next week, we have been Chalk and Cheese, and take care and have a great weekend. Take care. Because she's high class, she's out the stacking cash, and everybody knows her name.